You used the term a few weeks ago, but it was basically in response to a term that was out there already, three-star fatigue concerning Oklahoma recruiting. But that has been much corrected here in the last month. It is pretty astounding to look at the commitment list in July, going back to June 30th. If you look at the class 1 through 10 or 11, every commit aside from Jackson Arnold at the top of the class, the next 8, 9, 10 guys have all committed since June 30th. And of course, the most recent has been Derrick LeBlanc, and he comes in from the state of Florida.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, I think this was a Florida Oklahoma battle for a while. Kind of listening to some of LeBlanc's comments afterwards, it seems like Oklahoma was really the team, had been the team for quite some time that he was leaning towards, and had a much better relationship with from a Todd Bates perspective. I think he was the main recruiter for LeBlanc. So yeah, I think 6'5", 270, a guy that probably plays inside. I've seen this comparison a couple of times, very kind of reminiscent to an Isaiah Thomas that from Oklahoma over the last few years. So again, this is the first defensive lineman that Oklahoma has got, true defensive lineman. Now they've got we've got one edge in PJ Adebari, but a true inside guy. And I think that was, I don't know if I would say that was a concern, but I think there was a lot of folks just kind of wondering when the next defensive lineman commit would come. And so LeBlanc is that first one, as you mentioned, 4-star kid out of Kissimmee, Florida, number 12, 13 overall defensive lineman in the class. And I think he's just outside of the top 100 at 101, if I remember correctly. So yeah, like a huge get, and specifically someone that will probably be inside, probably one of the better inside guys out of high school that Oklahoma has got in the past few years. I think Perion Winfrey was a JUCO guy. He's probably the highest recruited, I guess, from a JUCO perspective. But out of high school, LeBlanc is probably the best prospect that Oklahoma has had in quite a few years.
Derrick LeBlanc, as a junior in Kissimmee, Florida, had 12 tackles for loss, 38 tackles total, and racked up 8 sacks. That brings him to 17 career sacks in 3 seasons of high school football there. All right. That's, again, 8 to 9 to 10. I didn't do the exact count of commits, high-level commits coming into the program here just in the last month that has lifted this class to number 6 in the nation, according to 247 Sports. And it's pretty impressive what Brent Venables is doing.